Good morning, dear students of first secondary. How are you? Hope you are safe and well. Now we are going to begin our syllabus for the second term. We are going to begin by your course book Hi. Okay, the first term, the first unit we are going to deal with it is Unit 3. Unit 3 is called Eureka. Okay, it's a word you can say after you did something great. Who had said this word and what did he discover to say this word? We are going to know now. The text is about how the great scientist Archimedes was inspired to make a great discovery. Okay, Archimedes is a well-known scientist in math. He had made a great discovery. When he had made this discovery, he had said this word, Eureka. Archimedes came to his discovery by taking a path. It came to him by chance while he was taking a path. This was his moment of inspiration. This moment was the moment he had got this new idea and he had discovered something great for us. Archimedes discovered a method to determine the density of an objective by submerging it in water, by putting it in water. At the moment of his discovery, he is said to have shouted Eureka, which means I have found it. It's a word you can say to express your happiness when you did something great or you have found something for the first time or made a discovery. This is a photo for him, a picture for him while he was having a path and discovered his great discovery. Now, look at your books, Unit 3, page 22. As usual, in your text, you are going to find some words which are highlighted. These words, we are going to explain them because you have to study them by heart. Okay? How did Archimedes discover this? How are discoveries made? We can learn a lot about the origins of inspiration from the famous account of Archimedes' Eureka moment is his monumental discovery in 2060 BC, before Christ. The first word, account, it's a written or spoken description of something that has happened. The boss liked my account, which I had written about the new project. What I have written about the new project, okay, something like this is account, something you have written. Monumental, an adjective, means something that is very important and historical, something which is very, very important. Archimedes had made monumental discoveries, very important discoveries. As the story goes, the king of Sarkis had commissioned a goldsmith to make an elaborated golden crown. The goldsmith was known for his great skill. Commissioned, what do you mean by the word commissioned? It's a verb. Okay, you have it in the text in the past. It's a regular verb. When you want to use it in the past, you are going to add ed. Okay, commission, to officially ask someone to write or to do a task for you. When you ask someone to do something for you, you are commissioned him. My teacher commissioned me to do a research about the new theory we had learned. She asked me to do it, gave me a task to do. Okay, here the king had asked this goldsmith to make for him a golden crown. After he made for him this, what had happened? He crafted a fine crown for the king. What do you mean by the word crafted? To make something with special skills. He was a skilled person, so he crafted this crown for him in a very good way. This man had crafted a beautiful necklace and ring for my engagement. But after he had crafted for him the golden crown, the king was suspicious by nature. He wanted to be sure that he used gold only in crafting the crown. He didn't use any other metal. Okay? However, the king was suspicious by nature. What do you mean by word suspicious? When you distrust someone or something. I am suspicious of his offer to help us because he doesn't like us at all. Okay? When you distrust someone. The king wanted to be sure. What did he do? And he suspected that the goldsmith may have mixed silver with the gold used in the crown. Believing he had been charged too much for the crown, the king asked Archimedes to assist him in proving his case. He asked Archimedes to prove for him that this crown is completely made of gold, no other metals. Could Archimedes confirm the king's suspicions? Archimedes knew that he would be rewarded considerably for finding the answer. What do you mean by the word considerably? It means much or a lot. He's going to be rewarded with a lot of money or a lot of gifts. A villa is considerably more expensive than a flat. For finding the answer and save for trouble with the king. The easiest way to prove whether the crown was pure gold would be to melt the crown into a block and measure its density. What do you mean by the word density? The thickness of a solid, liquid or gas. The density of some metals make them too heavy to be used. The only way to be sure that this crown was made of gold is to melt it. But how he will melt it, it's going to be useless. To melt it, there will be no crown. So he decided to do or to think about another way. As gold is more dense than silver, but this was out of the question. Melting the crown would destroy it. Archimedes was frustrated. He was confused what to do. He faced setback after setback. He found that constantly thinking about the problem expressed his frustration. What do you mean by this? To make something worse. To make something worse. It make it worse. His thinking, he was so confused what to do. Okay? Ali's rude remarks expiated the situation and made his mother very angry, to make something very worse. He decided to do something different, take a long, warm path. Archimedes believed that he could overcome his lack of inspiration, provided that he relaxed and allowed a breakthrough to emerge. What do you mean by the word emerge? To appear by coming out of something. While he was having a path, this idea came to him, emerged to him. The flowers emerge in the spring. So Archimedes filled his tub with water, and as he lowered himself into it, the water level rose and some of the water spilled over the top of the tub and onto the floor. In an instant, Archimedes realized the significance of this. He could measure the volume of the king's crown by submerging it in a tub of water. The volume, the amount of space that an object or substance fills. The volume of the liquid in this jar is about half a liter. He had got the idea to submerge. What do you mean by the word submerge? To put something under the surface of water. To submerge the golden crown, and by this he will be able to know its volume, and if it's made of gold, all of it or not. Submerge, to put something under the surface of water. The floods had submerged the whole city and all the people had to leave their houses. When the crown was put in the water level would rise as the crown displaced it. Displaced, to move or shift something from its normal position, to take place of something. Please don't displace my dictionaries from the shelf. Don't move them. The shape of the crown was irrelevant, and more importantly, putting the crown under water wouldn't damage it. And by this, he will be able to know if this crown had been made with any other metal, either than gold or not, without destroying the crown. Irrelevant, something not important or connected with a situation. Answer the questions to the point and don't write irrelevant information. Then turn to the next. The submerged crown would displace an amount of water equal to its own volume. Archimedes worked out that by dividing the mass of the crown by the volume of water displaced, the density of the crown could be calculated. If cheaper and less dense metal, such as silver, had been added, the density of the crown would be lower than the density of gold. In an instant, Archimedes leapt from the top, shouting, "Eureka, Eureka," or "I have found it, I have found it." This incident provides some insight into an important ingredient for inspiration: relaxation. He needed to take a break from thinking. He needed to take a break from thinking. When you do a lot of effort, when you are so tired, when you are doing a lot of activities, you need a break after this. Take a break to have a rest or relax after an activity. I am very tired, I'm going to take a break. I'm very tired, I'm going to take a break. This story shows that relaxation and knowledge go hand in hand when it comes to inspiration. Archimedes was able to recognize or to got the idea how to calculate the crown after he had a time to relax by having a path. So it's very important, if you need to think about something very important, to relax and be in a very good condition to be inspired or get new ideas easily. If Archimedes hadn't watched the water flow over the top of his bathtub, he probably wouldn't have realized that he could find the crown's purity by measuring its density. Someone who didn't have Archimedes' mathematical and scientific expertise would have watched the water flow onto the floor without coming to any conclusion at all. What do you mean by the word expertise? Mean that a person who is expert in something, had expert knowledge in something. Archimedes was a great scientist in math, so what he had seen while he was having a path gave him or inspired him with a new idea. Not all people can note this because he is an expert. Mona is an excellent accountant. Her expertise is widely recognized. By this, we have finished explaining our first text, our first unit, our first text in this term. Okay, please study hard the highlighted words and try to put these words or all the highlighted words, each word in a sentence, to check your understanding and create the sentences by yourself. Thank you and see you later.